Welcome to the WIHS Journal. On today's broadcast, I'll continue my conversation from yesterday, what I like to call is a trio. We have a branch manager from Freedom Mortgage, we have a realtor from Manchester, and also an attorney from Simsbury, Connecticut, finding ways for you to refinance your home or looking for that perfect home. Join us now as we continue the broadcast. Mary Beth, this question is also geared to you. So what kind of red flags should someone be concerned about?
If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Nothing is free.
Yeah.
And I always say that very often, like, we're very competitive with our market rates, but if you see such a below market rate, there's a reason why. Also, what I always caution my clients to, they'll say, well, this loan program says it's no closing costs. Every loan has closing costs. There's taxes on every single property. Ruben's laughing at me.
Yeah.
There's taxes. It's a fact of life. So there are fees associated. There's homeowners insurance. There's the taxes. There's fees. PMI. There's Ruben's fee for researching the title that's required in Connecticut. When a client comes to me and they say, well, this company's offering me no fees, I'm going to say, look at the rate, because you can actually build the fee structure in that if the rate, by increasing the rate, we are giving money back to the client. So basically, the higher rate is funding the fees. They're there.
Yeah. You're
just not paying them. You're paying it for 30 years in your interest rate. So I kind of I will have that discussion with the client.
Okay.
About that. That is a big red flag. So thank you for bringing that up.
I don't know who this question is geared to, but any of you can jump in. How can someone strengthen their credit score?
Oh, that's me. This is a Mary Beth question.
Yep.
Yay. FICO scores. You have to remember, I financed those caves when dinosaurs were roaming the earth, pre-FICO scores. The FICO score is a system that came out in the mid-'90s. How you strengthen your FICO score is use, type of use, and limits. You want to use your credit cards, okay? So a young person starting out, it's a little difficult because nobody wants to give you credit. Get a secured Visa or a MasterCard at your local bank. They give you a limit of, say, you put $300 in a savings account. You have a $300 limit. Use it. Takes time to build credit, believe it or not, like 6 months for even to change some of your FICO scores. If you have established credit and you're looking to purchase a home or even a car, what you want to be very aware of is look at the limits on your credit cards. Hypothetically, say I have a MasterCard or Visa, three of them, each with a $1,000 limit. You want to pay your balances down to 25%. So my example is if I have a credit card with a $1,000 limit, the minute I start going over $250 or 25%, my score is going to drop.
Wow.
All right? So very simple things to do. I actually will look at a client. I'm not a credit repair person by any means, but I've been doing this so long I can usually look at it and say, okay, I'll use Olga because she's sitting in front of me. Hey, Olga, this is what I would advise you to do. Why don't you go pay these credit cards down? And I give her the list of what to do, and I could rescore her once she's paid those down, and I could have a higher score and put her in a better position. The other thing is you can actually say you have these credit cards, ask for them to increase your limit rather than paying it down. Doesn't mean you're going to want to spend the money.
Yep.
To say, "Ooh, I've got a $2,000 limit now versus $1,000." No, it just helps with using your cash flow, and always, always, always pay on time. That 1 times 30 late is going to bring you down 20 points. So those are my 3 basic rules of what you do. And Ruben likes to jump in on that one.
Okay.
Yes, I had some experience in my job, my last job, doing some background checks, just receiving information on that. And a lot of the people that I remember having difficulties with credit were based on inaccuracies in their credit reporting. So the Federal Credit Reporting Act has a process by which you can have a review of your credit report every so often. They recommend at least once a year. Mm-hmm. And you can actually write to the credit reporting agency, and you can have any errors corrected. Now, that is not to say that errors alone will cause your credit score to be somewhere where you don't want it to be, but I certainly will have to say that inaccurate information could form the basis for a very distorted opinion of your credit that leads to a lower credit score that will affect you probably in the most this difficult time when you're looking for a home, you're going for a loan, and now this thing comes up and it stands as an obstacle that you could have taken care of if you did some periodic review and requesting corrections where they were necessary.
So that's a great point Ruben brings up. When I look at a credit report, you have to monitor your own credit. There's so many free opportunities out there right now, like Ruben suggested, for you to go, because a lot of people, I pull their credit, go, oh, by the way, do you realize you have this collection? Like it could be a $35 doctor bill that got missed when your child came back from college and the bill never followed you, and you're perfectly able to pay it, you just didn't know about it, and that's pulling your credit score down. So there is a lot of inaccuracies on there, and sometimes collections that you pay off will pop back in. So Ruben is 100% correct that you have to watch your own credit, and there's a lot of free services out there, and I can't emphasize that enough with today's buyers.
Okay. Really great nuggets of information here. I just love all this because obviously you guys work in conjunction with each other. You kind of feed off each other and help each other with the sales and the closing and the finance. So tell me a success story, and do you keep up with these people who have bought the house, and are they in love and all that stuff?
I have years of them. It just brings me so much joy when people send me pictures. I had a client, for example, this summer send me a picture. She went through a very, very hard time, single mom, and she sent me pictures. It was pre-COVID, I have to say, of her new deck and all her family enjoying her new deck and her children. And they had been renters for probably a decade plus. So, the best, as Olga, Ruben, and I would all say, our best client is one who refers business to us because it tells us we did a great job, and we love those clients.
Yeah.
I personally can't, bring to recollection a specific conversation, but I do want to say this. What has really, really made it, clear to me that something is working in my relationship with clients is basically they come back and they want me to represent them once again. I had recently a client that I represented probably 5 years ago or maybe a little less, and they came to me specifically and said, I was so blessed that you worked with us and that you were so kind and that you kept us informed and so forth. And that's a little bit, on the mushy side, but it just kind of means that you got to treat each client one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a business where you deal with people and you have 6 people and treat 6 people as if they were just a group. They're individuals. They have their own needs. They have their own concerns. And I try to always remember that people want to have answers when they need them, not when you think they're really in your schedule to give. So I always hear the stories of people being happy, people being fulfilled, not having anything to report, thankfully.
Yep.
And that makes me feel good that, I did all that that was needed to be done so that their experience was a good experience.
Yeah, I have a situation where actually Mary Beth and I work with this individual. She has yet to purchase property, but her credit history has been a little bad. And she's trying to repair that, but she's always comes back to me because she trusts me and she knows that I will lead her down the right path. And the fact that Mary Beth also has worked with her is a real encourager for us that, if you treat people fairly, if you treat people with integrity, that they will come back to you. And that's the whole business. That's what the whole business is about. And the 3 of us operate on that basis, treating people fairly, with respect, protecting their information, because we do get a lot of private information about the individuals. So it's really important that there's a trust involved there, and that that trust is representative of how we view the business and how we treat our clients.
Once again on the broadcast with us was Mary Beth Bain, a branch manager from Freedom Mortgage in Middletown, Connecticut, Olga Acosta, a realtor from Manchester, Connecticut, and attorney Ruben Acosta, a lawyer in Simsbury, Connecticut. Today concludes this second broadcast. For more details, call WIHS at 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily those of the staff and management of a station. I'm Anissa Porticelli for News and Public Affairs.